In this video, we're going to upgrade our RV refrigerator's thermistor. I'm currently in a small Amish community nearby Shipshewana, Indiana. We're on our way traveling from Florida to Montana, and we had a chance to stop by here to visit the folks who make the fridge upgrade we installed a few months ago. While we're here, we're going to go ahead and do a couple more upgrades before we head west onto Montana. And also be sure to stick through to the end of this video where JR is going to share some of his pro tips on how you can inspect and maintain your RV refrigerators, gaskets, and seals. I'm Jesse, and you're watching Outside is Calling. Just a quick side note, we are in an Amish community here in Shipshewana, and many of them don't want to be photographed or videoed, so you won't see very many of them in the video today. That's just out of respect for them. They are very friendly, very polite people. We've met several of them, and they've been very, very hospitable and nice to speak with and talk to, but they just want their privacy and don't want to be on video. And today we're in this is an older style diesel pusher RV. We have a 19-year-old Norcold 1200 refrigerator. Just a few months ago, we actually did a really cool upgrade. We installed a 12-volt DC compressor, which makes our Norcold fridge into more of a residential style fridge, an HVAC style fridge, which is a pretty cool upgrade. Today, we're actually at JC Refrigeration, the great folks who make this fridge upgrade, and I'm here with JR, who's actually going to install a Snip The Tip thermistor. Now what this device does, this thermistor, is actually going to give a more precise control of the temperature settings versus on the Norcold 1200, we have a little button we can push which goes from 1 to 9, which essentially sets the temperature set point. This thermistor is going to plug in and give us an even more precise control. So we're going to follow along here as JR installs this, and we're at the factory where they make the units. JR is a very knowledgeable guy with these types of refrigerators, and so I wanted to share exactly how he does this, and this I guess is a pretty simple thing that most folks can do themselves DIY at home. Alright, so now we're going to jump into the install. Snip the Tip thermistor.
Snip the tip.
Okay, alright, I got it right.
Yep. Turn it clockwise is colder, counterclockwise will make it warmer. And this is more of a precise thermistor, as Jesse said. It will keep your temperatures at a steady temperature instead of a fluctuation.
I guess it just comes in a bag just like this here?
Just like this.
Okay, all right.
That's exactly what it looks like.
All right.
So what we're going to be doing, these two little wire ends up on the end here. You can turn the knobs off the top of it. And inside you're going to see the wire off of this. And so all we're going to be doing is taking the thermistor, and it's literally what it's called, Snip the Tip. We're going to be cutting the original thermistor. We're going to cut the bulb off of it, strip those wires back, and just connect it to this. And you really can't hook it wrong. Doesn't matter which wire goes on which one.
Okay, great.
And then you just twist them together, and this little cap has a little insert in the middle. So when you screw these two together, it actually forms a tight lock, and it's sealed, and you can't pull the two wires from each other.
Oh, wow, very nice. Okay.
So we'll get started.
All right.
So you just reach up in here, grab the thermistor. If it's frozen in like that, you just pop it off the fin. Okay, so we remove the thermistor from the fin. Now we just take the clip off of there, because you're not going to need the clip anymore.
Okay.
And so we just do what we just talked about. We're going to clip one end, or one of the wires first. Don't clip them together, because they have a little, like a 4-volt voltage in them, so you don't arc them together. So now we strip this back. just like that. Okay, you take your thermistor wire and you insert it onto the bottom end of that cap. Stick it up through. Now you take the two ends and you just twist those two ends together, just like so. And so then we add this.
Oh, I see.
And we add this cap onto the top.
All right.
And by pushing this down, that will actually keep twisting those wires together. It makes it leak proof, and you can't pull them apart.
Oh, great. That was very secure.
So now we attach the other wire. Again, twist them together. Both wires through the end of the cap.
Okay.
Now,
yeah.
Twist them together.
Perfect.
And there it is.
Okay, great.
So now, instead of attaching this to the fin, like your old one was, it comes with a sticky on the back.
Okay.
You just pull that off. Make sure you have a clean, dry area beside the fin, and you want to do it on the right-hand side of the fin because this is where the cold is going to be entering.
Okay.
And this is where it's going to be picking up the cold. It's more sensitive in that area.
Okay, all right.
And so you just right side up it. Just like that. Pronto.
Okay.
And so then these wires can just be tucked up onto this top clip.
Oh, nice. Okay. So now the wires are out of the way.
And so now you have an adjustment from right to left. You can leave your fridge turned on where it's at now, but you can also adjust it from there.
Okay.
So now, attach your fin fan.
Okay, so that looked like a very, I'm just holding the camera so it's easy for me, but it didn't look very hard for you to get the wires together and just a little self-adhesive sticky, and that was a very quick swap out. When would people want to have this?
Snip the tip?
Yeah.
A lot of people who are not sure, should I have it on the first fin? Should I have it in the center? Should I have it, where exactly do I need to have this to get me the ultimate cooling capacity?
Okay.
Well, in this scenario, it just gets stuck to the side, and all this does is measure your air temperature in your box instead of your fin temperature.
Perfect.
Your fin temperature can vary so much.
Okay.
As when the cooling unit kicks in and the fin starts to get cold, and the box is still kind of warmish, it can kind of give you a false sense of it's cold enough.
Okay, so
this is more of an air temperature. It will actually go off how cold the fridge is and not how cold the fin is.
Okay, that makes a lot more sense. Yeah, this should be a much more precise way to maintain the fridge temp, and that's pretty cool. Okay, so I was just asking JR about our fridge. I had a couple questions, and I think a lot of our viewers might also have questions, and that was, we had a little piece of the gasket material that was hanging off of this door right here. It was just kind of hanging off there. I didn't know if that might be a problem, which would allow the cold to escape. But you're saying, JR, this it's not a deal breaker?
Nope, you don't really need that. It's only a wiper.
Okay.
And so it's really not needed on the gasket. You can actually just cut those off.
All right.
And what it is this gasket has a magnet on the inside, and you actually have a piece of steel along the inside of this plastic right here.
Okay.
And then also on this flapper, you have a piece of steel on the inside of there.
Oh, okay.
And so when these two connect up,
I see.
The magnet will actually stick to that. So when this closes, the magnet will actually stick to that. You can feel the tug.
Okay. Well, neat. All right.
And so these if you have a loose wiper, the wiper on the gasket, you can just clip those off, and it's not that it's a bad gasket.
Okay. All right.
The only time you'll have a bad gasket is if actually the magnet comes loose. If this breaks open and it comes loose and the gasket starts to crack open, and then you almost have to change them out.
Okay.
But a lot of times What we recommend to do if your gasket gets kind of hard, kind of crusty, just take we take a hair dryer, just warm them up real good, make them good and warm, or even hot water, just make them good and pliable.
Okay.
Then just taking Vaseline, just very liberally with Vaseline, kind of wipe them down with some Vaseline along the edges. Okay. And just close the door and you're good to go.
Oh, cool. Okay, awesome.
Another thing you want to watch for, these left-hand door, you want to come over on this side. These left-hand door flappers, they get kind of sticky with time. All it is a couple hinges, and these can be very easily sprayed with some silicone or WD-40 just to make them swing better. Okay. And then we like to also maybe apply some along the edge of this. All right. And then also down here in the bottom along this side. Okay. Sometimes food particles or whatever drop down or get in this track, and it kind of makes it sticky. So the thing you want to watch for is when this closes, that should close even if you go very slowly, it should close on its own like this. Okay. It swings around. If it goes in here and it stays like that, then you have a problem. So if you close your right-hand door, you're going to have a gap about that wide all along the side, and it's like having the door halfway open. Okay. All right. All right. So that should swing around. There we go. Okay, cool. Very cool.
So there you have it. We can now precisely control the temperature of our RV refrigerator with the new installed thermistor. It's going to give us a lot of control to have it exactly where you want it. No big swings of hot and cold and back and forth. That'll minimize condensation, make our food last longer, and just make the fridge better overall. While we're here, we'll also be installing a new control board on our Norcold 1200 RV refrigerator. That's going to come up in another video, as well as the factory tour. Thank you so much for joining us today, and I will see you in the next video.